office today, and here in my office. It's great to see you and great to have you on. A lot of you have asked about Most Loved Workplace, and so create a presentation for you to hear today, and then I'll take some questions at the end. Just want to go through this, want to show you what it is, all the great things it brings you. It's really, we're in this year of you really can't lose anything. Everybody wins because you get to come on and join in Most Loved Workplace, and we have great media partners. Just done some partnering now with the Wiley's Leader to Leader journal, where we'll actually publish a list, and we have other media partners right now as well. It's just an amazing time to join, and today I'm going to give you some free things like a promo code to do it completely for free, and you can go through this process. So let me tell you first, kind of begin with this and show you a little bit about Most Loved Workplace. I'm going to share my screen to do that. So let's begin with Most Loved Workplace. You know, some of the really salient aspects of MLW for me and for other organizations who have joined from Most Loved Workplace, Best Practice Institute's Most Loved Workplace, is that this is all based upon growing your business, sort of increasing engagement and satisfaction inside of your company, developing your leaders, increasing productivity. More importantly, think about this: to recruit the best, to be branded as a most loved company, for recruiters, for HR people, for chief talent officers, for CEOs. This is just an incredible opportunity to become part of this new list that is taking on more media partners, growing in size. This is the beginning. Incredible opportunity for you inside of companies to start in. So let's just keep going. You're invited to this new kind of Most Loved Workplace challenge to create this system to get recognized as that employer of choice, a trusted, reputable brand. And I'll go through these three things for the days of the agenda. It's basically creating your company brand. I'll show you how to do that, and you actually do that inside of this tool that we've created, where you can answer questions, begin your brand, start with how and why you're a Most Loved Workplace, and then preparing your survey to send out for your email so you can get really good information. And then really, if you want to create an intervention and retest, you can do that. If not, you could just stay with what you have. So this is what it is: developing yourself as a leader, developing your leaders to become Most Loved Workplace, or just coming as you are right now, taking the survey. It's based upon this model of clear messaging, social proof. We know today that's extremely important because we have to show that we are truly most loved inside of either Glassdoor or Indeed or all these other social proof mechanisms, and your employees themselves that show that you really are loved. And so get more candidates and customers as a result, and have that publishing and validation authority. And again, that improves your messaging to everyone involved. The first day is really creating your profile. Second day is the method itself, so you can really understand what's going on in your culture. And we do this for free. Not a lot of culture companies do that. Give this to you so you can get a real finger to the wind in terms of what's happening. It's part of the beauty of MLW, is it gives you that ability. And then revealing for yourself, how well are you doing? We'll go through that. And this is really a great time too for you to become part of a community of Most Loved Workplaces, Most Loved Companies. I think about that possibility on LinkedIn. That's what we're doing. We're giving away special prizes here as well. I'm going to give you a code to take part in this process completely for free, and other activities. Give away, books, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. So you can join the challenge here at mostlovedworkplace.com/challenge. You can also go and start the process of becoming a Most Loved Workplace. It's completely simple to do. All you do is click on a button and then put your email in, and it brings you through a process. You click on apply, and then you can put in your promo code, which I'm going to provide to you in just a little bit. If you want to get some text updates and get the promo codes and free stuff, just text "Love My Company" to 561-468-3093, and you'll get those. They'll get the free stuff and also the promo code in this video. Yep, that's right. Yes, we'll put that in. Just text. Somebody just said, and they're just text. Go ahead to "Love My Company," and then we can give it to you in the chat bar. So we're going to dive deep into this and sort of focusing on what will create the most powerful culture, right? This employer brand that generates the most results, getting better candidates, helping you grow your business. That's what we're all about here. is helping grow the business, helping you get better candidates, the right kind of talent. So important right now. So this is what it is. We're going to say why, and right now, why is it so important that that most loved workplace, that you become a most loved workplace? And right now, companies run by people just like you and me, and I've been running a company for 20 years. We're the ones that are going to make the world better. We're the ones working every single day and making our companies better, our relationships better with our customers and our employees, and getting the best talent in. But nearly 1 in 10 companies fail to effectively recruit and motivate their people to be at their best, which ends up in the cycle of blame, anger, and finger pointing. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. And I'm going to explain to you some of the specifics behind that, this finger pointing blame culture that exists. And you see 86% of executives say that they consistently struggle to find and motivate the right employees to perform at their best. So what's the difference between that 14% who do not have recruitment and engagement problems, right? That 14%, they don't have those engagement problems. What is it? Well, that 14% have systems in place to consistently measure and adjust their culture. So that's what Most Loved Workplace really does, is that's the tools to measure and adjust your culture. This is a tool we're going to give to you, and it's also the list that you can engage and improve and promote your brand. It's everything all in one, and it's free. So this year we're giving it to you so you can really build and we can grow together. It's a great time to be doing this. So without this reliable system for managing your culture and brand, it doesn't have to happen. You don't have to be part of that 86%. You can be part of that 14% and get out of the blame game. However, this is what the problem is today. Well, HR is not trusted. We found in the study, 80% of employees don't trust HR. So you look at everything from Intel down to LinkedIn, we have an 83% non-trust rate. People don't trust Intel. 59% don't trust LinkedIn. Look at all the companies between them, Amazon down to Cisco, Intuit, Facebook, Expedia. It's a lack of trust culture that's emerging, and you need to do something about it quickly, because without it, we need some not so great things will happen in the future, which is you won't have a most loved company and your brand will erode. And we're going to get into that. So what happens here with your brand, and your employees are focusing mostly on vacation days and they feel hated. So that's what's happening, is that they're focusing on leaving. They're focusing on how they can get out, right? And they don't feel loved or cared for by people in their company. They feel hated. And it might be a sense of self for them. It doesn't matter at this point. What matters is they feel that. Their sentiment is that way. And we will help them. Of course, you will help them to feel less hated. However, that's how they feel. So how do we know this? Well, just look on Indeed or Glassdoor or comparably and check out this social proof of hate. Pros are vacation on this, and the cons are the manager. So you can see that we have a lot of. This one is a one I do not recommend my company, and 1 star. This person said many vacation days depending on the years, but they try to lay off staff when they have full benefits. They don't want anyone. They hate their employees. So you don't want to be one of these companies, obviously. And now it's eroding even more with the remote workforce. And in this Harvard Business Review article, they said that about 40% of the 215 supervisors and managers in the study in HBR expressed low self-confidence in their ability to manage workers remotely. So confidence in managing and leading is eroding as well. It's reducing. So we really need a way to figure out what's up. So your leadership development and culture programs, they can't be the same old stuff, because people no longer trust it. And the old lists out there, they just don't have that specific way to grow your employer brand and culture with a real research methodology that can get you there to show results, better candidates, increasing motivation, improve sales, reaching your strategy. A real methodology will bring you there. So there is a systematic way to get real, honest results. And you need to build a genuine relationship with candidates and employees that take advantage of your ability to collect, and show real change and social proof to others. Collect and show real change and social proof to others. We're going to go through how to do that. So I'm the founder and CEO of Best Practice Institute and Most Loved Workplace. I've generated more than $200 billion in sales for my clients, and known as one of the top organizational culture gurus by Global Gurus. I'm ranked top 50 executive coach in the world. I'm best-selling author of the book In Great Company and Change Champions Field Guide. But beyond this, I'm a business owner. I work at this every day. My graduate degree in social organizational psychology. This is what I've devoted my field, my life to. But and it started back in '98 when I worked with my old mentor Warren Bennis, who developed the field of leadership development, and we began to make it more popularized back in '98. But it just happened, in reality, a lot further back than that. This is me with my dad. I had earmuffs on, which is appropriate for this because we were doing skeet shooting at the time. And back then I was working for my family company, and it's an insurance agency that was built in 1928 after my grandfather. He had passed away, and my grandmother then passed away, and the family basically fell apart in the family business. We were up to 350 employees, and it was quite robust and doing really well. And I had done internships, I had worked there, and I had every intention to work in this business as a leader when I, was older. And I turned 18, fell apart. And it fell apart because the aunts, the uncles, the cousins all fought, and they started blaming each other. And there was no strong leadership at the top to hold them together, the glue. And I don't think this is right, and I don't think this is fair, and I don't want it to happen to you. And that's why I really have created this and dedicated my life to this work, because I want to create workplaces with you that are solid, that are respectful, and don't play the blame game, and can really focus on that growth and productivity that was thriving when my grandmother was alive and my grandfather started the business. It's founder mentality that's the glue behind really productive cultures. And this is what we're talking about, is a surefire way to improve your leadership and build sustainable growth-driven companies, just like I had described. The key is getting the best candidates, retaining and motivating your best employees, and focusing on a positive vision for the future. That's what this is all about. This is the surefire way, is to combine both list marketing and an accredited publication with culture change. So again, it's not just the list, it's real culture change. We're talking about leader to leader, Best Practice Institute. We have over 200,000 managers, executives, and C-level leaders that you get in front of. We have culture and leadership behavior change that you can do. So it's not just a one stop, here it is. It's giving you real direction in terms of what you can do even better. 3 really important components is trust building to this, right? With the social proof, people trusting you more, seeing that you really are doing better, consistent advice, getting that advice from people consistently and asking them this information about what is happening, and respecting and collaborating and feeling that aligned values with the corporation. And then execution and accountability. And this is the surefire way. It's combining consistent advice and trust building conversations with clear focus on results and on execution. So what are your business goals this year? Growth remains a top priority for CEOs. It's 53% here. And that's so essential that you look at what is your business strategy. You have growth. If you want growth, you have to be able to attract new candidates, the best candidates, and be a great employer brand and a loved company. That's what this is really here. And the question is, are your leaders prepared to grow the company? So 1 out of 3 companies feel their leaders can grow their company. Is that good enough? 33% about, I don't think so. We have to prepare them. So why this disconnect? Between preparation, non-preparation, this third, because everybody wants performance and productivity, but do not know how to develop their leaders. They don't know how. So let's fix that right now. So, our work's been endorsed by almost every leader in the industry. You see here Marshall Goldsmith and Francis Hesselbein. I want to thank these people right now if they've recommended you to come to this webinar or of them. And I just want to thank them right now. We have John Baldoni and Brian Fischel, and you can see some of the things that they say about how the process really works, how the this really can help you to gain that next level. You can read some of them. There's Francis, who's received a presidential Medal of Freedom from Bill Clinton, and Marshall Goldsmith, who's the author of What Got You Here Won't Get You There, John Baldoni, author of Grace, also Brian Fischel, who's CHRO of Key Bank. And we also give back. We believe in the University of Pittsburgh, and we contribute to them as well, and sort of what they do to provide leadership development, classrooms to military battlefields, from social sector to corporate boardrooms, and they help generations of graduate students and professionals strengthen the leadership of the social sector and partners in business government. So we give back to them. It's a wonderful charity and philanthropy to give to them, because they really do a lot for people who need it and want to develop their leadership skills. That's Francis Hesselbein's Leader to Leader Leadership Forum at University of Pittsburgh. So I quickly came to realize that the old way is broken, right? And so what if I simplified this process? And you can get the research for this right now, how I simplify this process into how to create a most loved workplace, all the research behind it, all the things that we did to find out what are the elements of a most loved workplace. Go ahead, text us now. You could also put your name in the chat bar, and just put your name right here, there, and we'll send you this research, some free things here. So we found out that frontline workers generate 10 times more influence on employer brand than senior managers with more executive face time. Wow. So so that means that your frontline workers are the ones who are creating your brand. Those are the ones we want to get to the most, and make sure that we have that most loved workplace mentality, because they're creating your most loved company brand. So important. And check this out. This is Glassdoor. Look at these ones. Absolutely horrible place to work. Single most toxic workplace. Ethics issues. Not such a great place to work. Really funny, right? If you think about it, there's someone who's not laughing right now, though. This is really horrible to know that these frontline workers who have 10 times the ability to impact your brand are saying these things about you. It's not the greatest thing to have in the world. So trust, respect, and positive future matters. By implementing the system, we've helped clients increase their team's retention, performance, productivity, and made direct connections to increase profits. And that's all in my book, In Great Company. And in today's agenda is the evolution of employee motivation and how this affects your 2021 goals, how to drive greater performance and get more discretionary effort with nudges, we call nudges, the ethical way to build trust throughout your workplace, how to completely control the results of your employee satisfaction efforts. In this Wall Street Journal article, we'll start with this. This is about workplace rudeness. So this Israeli hospitalist teams exposed to rudeness. An American expert told them, they basically said to them, we have a new American expert coming in here. And he said to them, they wouldn't last a week. Right, and they were more likely to give the wrong diagnosis, not ventilate or resuscitate patients. Imagine this: Israeli hospitalist teams, had this rude American, quote unquote, that they hated, who came in and said, "You won't last a week," and all of a sudden the rates went up of improper diagnosis. They didn't ventilate as much. They didn't resuscitate patients. Morbidity rates increased. Phenomenal effects rudeness can have in the workplace. If employees perceive it as rude, if they have preconceived notions of the person giving them advice or talking to them. So it has to do with both sides. There's both those preconceived notions and the person sort of endeavoring or indulging in the rudeness. And that most loved culture equation framework of clear messaging, social proof, more candidates and customers, publishing and validation authority works to get you there. It begins that process of eradicating the rudeness, getting rid of all of the perceptions of rudeness, the perceptions that we are not all equal, that a person could be mad at me and I'm going to get upset and I'm not going to perform as much. So this kind of both sides are stopped as a result, and said to reset, think again. So what are we talking about? So respect is at the core of everything you do, this respect. You can't sit back and wait. In our research, we found that 94% of respondents report they're 2 to 4 times more likely to produce more for their organization if they love their workplace. And the key takeaway here is it pays to be proactive with practicing respect with yourself and others. So not only respecting others, but also respecting yourself and understanding that if somebody does yell, if somebody is rude, then you have to think in yourself, well, am I being nice to myself? How can I react and respond to the situation in a way that's emotionally regulated, that's empathetic? I have to realize what I think about myself. Will I go wither away and, and go cry about this, or are we going to be able to speak truth to what's happening and be empathetic, understand the situation? A lot of that happens in this Most Loved Workplace framework because you're able to identify it before it happens and or know that you don't have that inside of your company. So this understanding what moves employees perform. How can you get this guy to fully stand up on a rock and be able to do the lotus position? There's ways to do it. And some of the people factors that we found are that when they feel like they're part of a positive functional community where they respect their boss and manager, they rated that really high, right? So, but they rated low. I have a best friend at work and strong friendships at work, much lower. You see 4.6, 4.5 for positive functional community and respect versus 2.5, 3.3 with best friends and friendship. What does that mean? Well, respect takes center stage. So Jackie Robinson, he's arguably one of the best baseball players of all time. He said, I don't care if you're my friend. All that I ask is that you respect me. And he, again, people showed him massive amounts of disrespect. He doesn't want to be their friend. He wants them to respect him and his abilities. And that's the thing. We have to bring about that kind of respect for abilities and sort of evoke it within the employee as well as the people who are working with that person and unearth it as well. Why employees perform, it's out of that respect. They live the values they espouse and having a positive vision for the future. So we have to know where we're going, have that depth of knowledge that you're going to have a great career, where your career is going to go, that job is going to go, where your company is going to go, what you're doing for the world. Are your values connected to the values that are espoused by the company as well? Super important. And again, do you feel respected? Do you respect yourself? And are you able to conduct yourself with that kind of respect inside of your company? The Most Loved Culture Equation framework really helps with that and having your employees in the center of this framework. This is the way you begin this process. The assessment comes first. So after applying, clicking on that apply button and using the code, just put your name in there and you'll get the code. You go through this culture survey. It's very simple. It doesn't take more than 3 to 5 minutes to take for an employee. It tracks. It looks at specifics around teamwork and collaboration and giving advice for the future. Within part of a team, it focuses on specific projects and whether there's openness to new ideas and innovation. Very simple to do, very easy to do. Give it to your employees, and you can get a good finger to the wind, all part of this process. It's completely for free, so there's really nothing to lose. When you get the survey employees on the aspects, when you survey the employees, on these aspects of the company that don't motivate performance, you don't get increased performance. So these are the aspects that do directly relate to performance. So when you focus on and improve the areas that do directly correspond to performance, then you made good use of this survey and their time. Which is what this is really all about. To get results and increase discretionary effort, again, voluntary discretionary efforts, people wanting to do more, not necessarily because they are told, you must first gain respect, gain trust, and build respect. Gain trust and build respect. And why it doesn't work the other way? Well, playing volleyball games with each other, or having foosball tables and napping pods just don't work anymore. Reports that compensation benefits, while it's important, it's there, and we'll show that in Most Loved Workplace. The most important thing that people said are that feeling of value and respect, and reporting that they're living the values and ethics that the company itself espouses. Those are very important to living in this culture. This framework addresses that in the clear messaging and the proof itself. When you become certified as a most loved workplace, you get a verified seal. We will get ranked in Leader to Leader, other news publications. Are they motivated enough? These are the things we're going to be asking. Are they motivated enough? Does someone have the capabilities of performing the desired behavior? Did we remind them, ask them to perform their desired behavior? We'll look at all of that in Most Loved Workplace. Key takeaway to begin with, the goal is improvement. You can come as you are. Goal is to improve and go through these 5 areas: systemic collaboration, positive future, alignment, respect building, and killer outcomes. This is the basis of this tool of becoming a most loved workplace, and here it is. So we look at, here's some client spotlights: the goal of a client, what worked, and what the results were. So the systemic collaboration has 3 main things around it, which is it's valuing teamwork and collaboration, giving advice on what to do better. So advice feeding forward rather than looking back and blaming people, providing consistent team-focused goals. So we all know we're on the same page. So that's what we really look at in the first systemic collaboration. And equal airtime, mindful listening, really hearing and listening and going through that process. Information flow, mix of structure and flexibility. You can't really have one without the other. And then effectively managing conflict. Mike Shealy example, the example here is Allstate wanted to be the #1 sales organization here in Florida for all the nation for Allstate. And what we did was develop these systematic goal-based meetings, transformational meetings, whereby they discuss what it takes to become that #1 sales organization. And they did. They became that. It's a structured approach, and they did all the things that they needed to do to become that. And that kind of systemic collaboration that they developed got them there. And they had to look at the past. They had to look at things that they needed to adjust and change, and look at individuals and how they fit into the larger system. Took time to do, and it worked. They did become that #1 sales organization. It was massive improvements in sales. So this positive future aspect is, #1, being open to new ideas and demonstrating this positive attitude toward the future, knowing what that vision is, right? Sometimes in companies, you come in, CEOs come in, you have no idea what they're doing, no idea where they're going, or executives have no idea what they're doing. How long has that gone on for? 2-3 months. You have to create that vision right away. And that really does happen when that individual looks at who they were in the past, and how others perceive them in the past, creating your future vision of who you want to be and how you want others to perceive you. And that takes work with stakeholders. Goal here, that Ray Williams is one of the best CEOs that I've ever known in my life. Extraordinary gentleman, amazing leader. His goal was creating a community of caring around in Illinois. Providing what he called a differentially better patient and physician experience. And what worked? He created open, collaborative relationships and leadership inside the clinic and outside partners. So we did this together, working with his board, working with his core team, working with his his new executives, and creating this incredible structure. And what Ray did is just phenomenal with this work. It went from 750 million in revenues to over 1.75 billion, which is just extraordinary, and they're still growing because of this dedication to collaborative excellence, to having this positive vision for the future, and a team who loves being with each other, absolutely loves performing with each other and doing their level best and working it all out. Absolutely amazing team. Alignment is around living the values you promote, not just for the company, but for yourself, right? Standing for honesty and integrity, being honest about what you're doing, having integrity in what your values are and who you are as an individual, and holding everyone accountable for their actions. So if they say they're going to do something, make sure that they do it. That's an important point. And if they promise something, make sure that they give you that promise. So make values meaningful and memorable. These are some tips. Practice what you promote. Self-select and self-correct. So select that with which you want to have an alignment of values, right? And then correct it when you see it yourself. So you correct yourself rather than expecting others to do it. And then remember to measure that alignment of values and how you're accountable for what you're doing. Example, Michael Bragg, phenomenal leader, another one that I'm so proud of and we have such respect for. He's the Chief Talent Officer at MFS, and his goal is to develop a culture of collaboration and results. And he did just that. He set people within a great path to do that with us, and we creating what he called and his team called milestones and key results. Creating a common language for how do we get past obstacles? How do we create the most effective change and transformation? How do we hold each other accountable to move past these obstacles? Incredible improvements in satisfaction, growth, and performance, just all aligned, moving forward, best possible plans for their CHRO and their CEO and board, feeling totally aligned, right in line with the company, and an incredible asset to the company. He's just out of the park, amazing what they've accomplished. Respect building is making employees feel their work is appreciating, showing trust to those who you work for, right? So you're showing trust for people. You're not just feeling bad immediately at what happened or this happened. You're working actively to enable it. Again, remember, the frontline employees, their employees who are right in the front, they have the most impact. So they need to work on developing themselves for this. So it has to create this culture of respect for themselves and ensure that they can create respect and for others, show trust for those who work for you. So on all ends, trust them as you're moving through the process. Make it mutual. I give it, I get it. It's a currency. And you have to respect the differences between us. So if somebody is angry, why are they angry? Let's explore that, empathize with it, take regulation in it, right? Understand where it's coming from, lead with it, lead with that respect, and you'll have the ability to sort of be calm and regulated and understand where they're coming from, and you'll learn a lot in that process. And the small things, they're really big. So the things that you hear about that you think that aren't necessarily important, they're actually very big because you have to dig and unearth really what's happening. So here we look at again the board of directors of this. This is not actually this. See, we have mistakes even here, and we take ownership for them. So this is an executive team and board of directors here of an anonymous financial services company. We can't say the name of them. We're still in process, and they asked us not to add their name. So here's what happened. There was a balance of power between the board of directors and the office of the CEO, senior executive admin team in this particular financial services company. And with continuous coaching conversations, behaviors that we developed together. We said, what are the best ones? How can we create it together? Follow up of this new agreement, knowing that these are our common behaviors, and the alignment of respect. And the results, the senior executive admin execute 4 times faster, looked at it, and with more accuracy than when they felt disrespected by board requests. So killer outcomes. This is the K in Spark, making sure employees are competent and knowledgeable, valuing effort and hard work, working together toward shared goals in the company. How to do that? It's aligning the strategy with structure. So knowing what that business strategy is, and then structuring it so business strategy typically has some sort of number around it. It could be a CAGR of 15%. It could be a growth rate or a revenue figure or a profit figure, anything you need to put toward that figure. First, get that figure. It's extremely important. Set people up to succeed for that figure. Give them the resources to get there, necessary resources that they need, and the communication they need. This is this person that will help us get there with your help, or these are the people that will help us get there with your help. Set them up for that so that everybody knows that's what they're there for. Play to win, right? This is to win. This is not for some people to lose and some people to win. This is for everybody to win, right? So that your whole ecosystem can become larger. When other people win, you win. Set that game up that way. And then foster resilience. So when you have setbacks, that people can pop right back up, be resilient, and move forward. We know that we need that more than ever right now. And Ray Williams is an example of that. Through the pandemic, he was fully operational. He set up war rooms, rapid access to supplies, COVID tents, goal-setting meetings. Salaries were kept the same. Revenues continued to increase. Physician comp increased when other healthcare systems were falling apart because of his focus on this. And here's some things that people believe about what we do. Hubert Joly said this about us. He said, my process explores the humanity of an organization and the importance of emotional connectedness, which is defined in Spark. It offers a set of frameworks and a plethora of practical examples and approaches that can help unleash the power of the people and extraordinary performance. That's from Hubert Joly, who's chairman of Best Buy, ex-CEO of Best Buy. When deciding on where to apply for a job, 84% of job seekers say the reputation of a company as an employer is important, really high. People act on emotion and justify with logic. So they'll act on that emotion. They'll act on that reputation. They'll act on how they see people talking about you on Indeed and Glassdoor, and they'll justify it with logic. Oh, if I work for that company, I might be miserable, or I might get this kind of manager, or I might get this kind of treatment, or I might feel this way. Well, it may not be true. So, and where will candidates and customers' emotions take them after reading this? What do you think? Not in a good place. So this is the process for Most Loved Workplace. So again, you have any questions, just put it in the chat bar and I'll get to you after this. Number one is the custom survey run. You do the custom survey run, you send it out. Number two, you'll get a confidential detailed report and dashboard from that. Number three, you have this online company profile page that you fill out, very easy to do. And there are questions around why you are a Most Loved Workplace, and it'll become your brand. Step four is you get your verified Most Loved Workplace seal. Step five, we're going to be doing finding winners, finding and ranking for publications and different media publications like Leader to Leader. Here's a sample email template to send out. It's on the wizard of the Most Loved Workplace process. You'll see here we give you a URL. You put your company name, of course, and it describes all the things people will get. All of this is in the wizard of mostlovedworkplace.com. When you use your code, I'll tell you your code now so you can have it you've already had in your toolbar. It's MLW first 50. So Scott will put it in the chat bar. He'll email you back if you put your email in the chat bar so you can get that. So I could put that in the chat bar right now as well. So everybody has that, which is MLW first 50. So that is your link. That's your promo code that you need. And what you do is you just go to this website, mostlovedworkplace.com, and then you can go through the process. So here's a sample email template. It says, we care about your opinions and want to know what you think about working at your company. To help us understand how you see the company as your employer and showcase our company to the world as a Most Loved Workplace, I'm asking you to fill out this quick pulse survey. It doesn't take long to do. And MLW list is published, Leader, other places, and the benefits being certified are immeasurable for our efforts to attract and retain the best employees as they are. And you receive confidential reports from this that they'll show how you can improve, or you might already be. So coming as you are, I do recommend people give you this because it's confidential to get the report, and it's good for everybody. Stays open for 2 weeks, and then it's closed after you get a good amount of people. We like 33%. You could do it in specific divisions. And so here's the survey. You can see it's very easy to do. It's indicating level of agreement on a 5-point scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Very easy to do. 33% was what our goal is, just for statistical significance. However, if we need to do it inside of divisions to achieve that, we can do that. We just need about that amount in order to get a good sample set. You receive this confidential detailed report and dashboard as as a huge perk to taking this, and it actually gives you grades and percentages and exactly how you are doing in those areas, and you could discover that area, whether it's systemic collaboration all the way to killer outcomes, and ways in which you can improve your score or improve your culture to become a most loved workplace, or information that you would need to know anyway. And you can, if you'd like, in our tool, retest 3 months later to show improvement in the areas of need. So you're absolutely able to do that. And this is a cool way of doing it for free. Hard to pass that up. This is the custom profile. As you see, you're filling out the top reasons candidates choose to work for you, what makes your company loved by its employees, how you create a culture of respect, your CEO name, examples of the success behaviors exhibited by your CEO, and your definition of a successful culture. If selected, you'll get the seal. You'll be ranked. And here's the thing, culture and behavior change requires consistency to address the areas of need. And we're looking at this now because you have to follow up with people with the most loved workplace assessment. That's the key. You have to follow up. Follow up is critical. As you see in this study that we did, you can find it in Leadership as a Contact Sport, Howard Morgan and Marshall Goldsmith, with follow-up number 1, which is actually one time followed up, right? There was no positive change, crazy, to all the way to 60% plus positive change. This is an incredible difference. Just think about that, with 12 follow-ups versus just 1, right? So no positive change at all. And then the second one, there's less than 20%. So you actually do worse if you follow up twice versus following up 12 times, so you get 60% plus. Okay, just staggering. So following up with people and ensuring that they are aware of what needs to change is essential. Here's some of the stats on it. It says did no follow-up. Look at the negatives in this area in terms of percent change. And this, as we did a little follow-up in Exhibit 2, so there's 3 with more frequent, and then periodic, which is 12 times, you got to 3 plus 3, which is significant change. So key takeaways: quit focusing on the wrong things to motivate people that we've talked about, and then focus on the right things, which is this feeling, this employee sentiment of value and respect from others. It's the #1 reason why people love their workplace. So we see comp and ben. It's important. It's not really, really important though. This positive functional culture that we've established and talked about here today. So where are we in this evolution of employee satisfaction? We start out with just office and employee perks. So that's all it is. Hey, come on in. We'll give you some perks and slides and cool out. And it's not that way anymore. We don't care about taking naps at work or sometimes going to work. So then we just start, hey, let's do engagement surveys once a year. Kind of create a lot of employee fatigue. We don't quite know what we're doing with them. We don't know if it's the right employee engagement survey. They're connected to this thing or that thing. People get angry at them. Not another engagement survey. Oh, let's do the top companies to work for list. Oh, now we'll know this and that. No, you don't need that anymore. That those lists are talking about things that aren't related to performance and motivation and satisfaction and sentiment and that feeling of employee connectedness. You have to talk about love for your company, and you have to be able to develop that brand of love and employee sentiment so you can increase those ratings and that social proof out there, and the ability for people to truly love where you work, right? And love your company. Got to get to that point. That's the most evolved we are here today. And the evolution of improvement itself is blame and fear to consistent commitment to improvement, right? So what's next? Most Loved Workplace. Go there right now. We give you a free code to do this. Go through the survey, receive your confidential dashboard, do your profile, the seal, and we'll go through all of these things. I'll give you the perfect most loved company profile playbook, the social proof method, the final reveal. We'll go through this process with you. and the framework and all of our other things, and learn from all these people who love working with us, like Ray Williams. They know it works. Brian Fischel, Sage Row Key Bank, the process really works. Hubert Jolie, here from Karen Dyson, U.S. Army retired general, lieutenant general, and Marshall Goldsmith. Takeaways: I only know what I know. Be direct, open, and honest in conversations. Don't hesitate. Focus on relationships and respect. The challenge will show you the path to follow to make this all happen for yourself. And of course, we can't forget the greatest barriers to building a most loved workplace. You need to have the support of your CEO. And there's sometimes an unwillingness to change, and quite honestly, there's laziness. All this brought together will give you everything you need for a most loved workplace. Thank you for joining us today. Get some questions now. Okay, all right. Thanks, Scott. We'll start with this one. So what's the exact process? So I'm going to go back and show you the exact process. It's very, very easy. It's really this. When you go, I'm going to go here to actually show you my screen. So when you go to mostlovedworkplace.com, as you can see, mostlovedworkplace.com, you click on how to become a 2021 Most Loved Workplace. Click on here, and you click on, you can look at some of the video and later and me talking about the application and description here. Just click on begin now, right? And then you put in your email address, get started. And then after the form was sent, you apply, you get all the things I talked about, all for free. And then you apply, password, and then go to here to your discount code, MLW first 50, and boom, it just applies and it's all gone. So after this, you'll go through a wizard process that is extremely easy to use and self-explanatory. And that wizard process brings you through this exact process, which is you do your branding, you give out your survey with the sample email, and that's it. It's that easy. Thanks for the question. All right, so the other question is, is this different than an engagement survey? Well, definitely. We just showed it to you. SPARK, and the methodology itself is around employee sentiment, employee satisfaction. Again, that feeling of love, that respect, the caring, that sentiment that's created inside of your organization. That's what this is all about. And the methodology itself, as we talked about before, I'll go here one more time, is around that clear messaging around that why people love and why it is a loving workplace. The proof behind it, what people are saying, just like I've shown you here today about you, more candidates and customers coming to you as a result, that publishing and validation authority when you get there, it really brings you that kind of way to say to people, we are loved, we work on love, we have really high sentiment, and people continuously follow up and work on that specific aspect. So this is about loving your workplace. That's really what this is about. And MLW does that in certainly myriad of ways. So, okay, so the next question, how do you get the research? So before we said just put your name in the type message here, it's the questions area, and put your email in, or go to mostlovedworkplace.com, and on mostlovedworkplace.com you can actually download the actual research behind it, and it's substantial. We've done tremendous amounts of research and qualification studies, validation studies. We've done what's called in statistics Cronbach alpha and all these statistic things, important statements, and thematic analysis. So we've done all of the hard and heavy lifting for you already. And so you can get all the research you want here. What are next steps? Next step is just to go on and do this. Just go on to Most Loved Workplace and follow the steps and use MLW First 50 to get rid of any type of charge. Okay. All right. We're going to take more questions later if you need to. I know we have more. We are at the top of our time here. Just email us or me at lou@bestpracticeinstitute.org or Scott Baxt, B-A-X-T, at bestpracticeinstitute.org. And I'll put them into the chat bar here. And here's mine. And then you can get a lot of stuff that you want, louiscarter.com, and of course at mostloveworkplace.com. So just join us, come online, contact us if you need us, and just start, because this is an incredible gift for this year, 2021. This is the year to start, and I invite you to come on. Welcome to Most Love Workplace, and I'll be seeing you online and in other webinars to come.